Alright, do you want to talk about D-Day, or are you still a sourpuss?
Holy, every time we talk, it has to be an argument.
What's up, everybody? This is the second podcast. We're already breaking up. Goodbye.
Welcome to us yelling at each other for 45 minutes.
The military situation following the fall of Rome calls forth this message from the President of the United States.
The first of the Axis capitals is now in our hands. 1 up and 2 to go. It would be unwise to inflate in our own minds the military importance of the capture of Rome. We shall have to push through a longer period of greater effort and fiercer fighting before we get into Germany itself. Therefore, the victory still lies some distance ahead. That distance will be covered in due time. Have no fear of that, but it will be tough and it will be costly. So I extend the congratulations and the thanks of the American people to all the brave officers and men in the armed forces of the United Nations. May God bless them and watch over them and over all of our gallant fighting men.
No. D-Day happened 7:05, not 7:07. It didn't start. The initial attack didn't start until 7:05.
After he flicked a booger from his nose and flicked it.
Alright, Chance. Alright. Are we starting, bud? We starting, pal? What was the air, or what was...
Hey, you can't just ask what was. This ain't gonna be a battle of what was.
Alright.
Holy.
I don't know how to do this,
Talk to
Chance.
the people. Act like you're talking to the people.
No.
Like, we're talking to one another, but it's like, it's not like question. We're not freaking having a test, are we? Let's talk about it.
You're not wrong, but like, talk about it then. You know?
Alright, so let's start. So, alright, so this is your thing.
I'm
First
not
off, what are we
we're
talking
not
about?
getting quizzed about it, so let's not start anywhere.
Can you put your name at the top of the paper, please?
Yes, I will. Sorry.
What are we talking about?
You know, some call it Normandy, the invasion of Normandy, and then some people call it Operation Overlord. But
Okay.
yeah.
See, there you go. When did it take place? What year? What time? What was happening?
So like Operation, but before anything, sorry,
Oh yeah,
before
yeah, for sure.
It happened in 1944, June 6, 1944, if you will.
There we go.
In World War II, right? They had to delay it a day for weather, right? But,
Led by who?
So,
And how did he know?
was Dwight D. Eisenhower the
Boom, boom.
president?
And he talked to some freaking not
He was the
president at the
general?
time. Yep.
Okay. He talked to what?
He just talked to some meteor. He like set up a freaking test and like freaking whole bunch of meetings with like 3 or 4 different meteorologists, and because he wanted to like devise the perfect timing to start this shit out. Some would say he wanted the stars to align. Get it? Cause yeah.
No. So what I was gonna say before we really started was Operation Overlord was just the land to, or the fucking sea to land operation, right? Like there were multiple operations occurring that day. Like I have it somewhere in my notes, but the I believe the paratroopers and the gliders had they had a different operation name, because they were doing a complete different thing, you know. But so Normandy was the second option, you know. Fuck, I forgot what the first option, the name of the first option was. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know that? Do you know what the first option was? Or what they
I do
wanted?
not.
What the Germans believe it to be, at least.
Oh, the yeah, what the hell they go
The one,
that
like, right
the
above.
ghost freaking. I can't remember what the spot was, but they brought a bunch of troops up there. I probably should have that written down too, but I'm kind of lazy and.
Well, no, that's fine. But
Wait, thought we planned to land in Pas de Calais.
police.
Calais? Calais? That's what it is. They thought like they freaking moved a bunch of the people to Pas de Calais. Sicilians.
Okay. So, kind of like scattered brain a little bit with my notes. So first thing is like General Staggy, please, June 6th. Like with Dwight D. Eisenhower. Yeah. Was the land operation? Oh, Operation Neptune was the naval operation.
Okay. And then with that, kind of a little fun fact. So estimate, obviously, this is all pretty big estimate here. Maybe they had the proper fucking shit written down. If I don't, I'll admit to that. This shit might be off a bit. But Allies used more than 5,000 ships, accompanied by more than 7,000.
Yeah, they had that all written. They know
Like,
the
yeah, like,
exact number. Or
documented that.
like damn close to the exact number,
Mhm.
at least. But yeah.
So like, look at that. Like our ratio via like this kind of, we're going Air Force here. Ratio for planes versus them. We had 30. They had 1. The ratio is 30 to 1. We came in with more than freaking 160,000 or 150,000, freaking give or take, freaking Allied troops. Split up between the U.S., United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Belgium,
Play real quick.
the
brother.
Czechoslovakia, France, Greece. What level is she? Further, you cannot attack turn. First pay for declare an attack. Tune be. That sucks. Who the hell is this? Fucking special summoner. France, Greece, New Zealand, Norway, and Poland.
What did they do?
That was all part of the Allied forces right there.
Like
when
just
we
like
attacked.
all of the forces that fought together.
Mhm.
Now, okay, so I asked you this question yesterday. What are all the beaches?
I don't remember. I didn't write those down.
All right, give me a good estimate or guess. Try to throw some out. Come on.
So Omaha was one.
Omaha.
Sword.
Sword.
Um.
Oh, I'm
It
a
was like-
prospector, you know?
Pentucket.
Gold.
Utah.
Gold.
What was the other one? I think?
If you would, if
Kentucky or something.
no. It's
Definitely not
it.
South Dakota.
Omaha, Utah, Gold, Juneau, Sword.
Oh, Juno. That's a good movie. I should have remembered that one.
Yeah, the way I remembered it is Omaha, Utah. Like you're doing a fucking blue, you know, Omaha, Utah, and then
Yeah.
and then you know, gold. That's gold, and then you turn around, right? And it's just like Bruno has a sword. That's fucked up. That's scary shit. Emo bitch has a sword, you know? So, that's pretty cool. Alright, now let me flip the script real quick and just like ask you, can you, well, I guess like not really ask you, but can you tell me about the Atlantic Wall? Do you have anything about the Atlantic Wall?
Nope,
now?
go on about it.
It is the German defenses along the beaches of Normandy, you know? So like they had fucking trip mines on barbs of like sticks that were like sticking out like 10 feet out at sea. They had instead of pointing the turret nests towards the ocean, they cross-sectioned their turrets so they could, while one was cooling down, the other one could apply covering fire to the other nest. Hold on. They flooded the low sections of the beaches. They had, you know, I don't know what they're called, but like they had like the fucking metal crossbars, you know, the steel bars. They had their barbed wire, and then they had ground troops in front, barbed wire, and then the nests. That's how the formation was set up. Yeah. I figured that you would probably do mostly the American version of the game, you know, or not the game, but of like shit. So I was
Wait, my bad, you cut out a little bit.
I said that I figured you would do more of like the American history of things.
Okay.
So I ended up getting like some of the German stuff, and then I also, and it inspired me because I forget how badass they really were, but it inspired me. My next podcast, like you get to pick the subject, and then my next one is gonna be La Resistance. Honestly, because they were just truly badass. Like. They had some of the biggest influence, you fucking idiot, but they had some of the biggest influence
It was
in,
my turn.
yeah, on D-Day. They were the ones to destroy essential bridges and roadways.
Yeah, the spies. Is that what we're talking about right now?
The resistance, the
Yeah.
French resistance, if you would. In the span of literally D-Day, the one day, they took down 577 railways, 30 driving roads, and 32 comm centers.
Yep.
Cut off panzer divisions from joining defense force. They helped, and so like, one of the coolest things I think they did was on D-Day, like it was a scatter in the sky for the paratroopers, right? Like they were jumping all over the place. They like their fucking LZ really was fucking just a scatter zone at that point, right? And so like these guys were literally on the ground, with lights helping them fucking land in essential areas, and that's like the biggest thing you could fucking do, truly, like getting the fucking guys. I don't know. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
They played a major part. That just like showcases the exact like planning it took into like this day, you know, like the fucking plan out this operation. It took them like fucking months upon months ahead of time to
Wait.
fucking get shit planned up, to get people in certain areas, fucking
We literally had a
certain things,
spy.
spread certain beliefs.
We literally had a spy in the German military become a spy and come over to the British military, and like the Nazis thought he was fucking giving them good information, and he was literally just a British fucking spy the whole time, and like just like he was like, I forget his name, honestly. It was like Gross or something like that. But he was like one of the key members or key components to fucking winning the day, because he was telling them to look in areas other than Normandy, and like
Yep.
it's just fucking, and it's impressive. Like they didn't have their defenses set up on Normandy, and they had that big of a fucking fight. Like that's all I'm saying, dude. It's fucking nutty that they like the fucking the troops that were on the Normandy beaches, the German troops that were on the Normandy beaches, were reportedly either very fresh or drunkards. So that's neat.
Probably a whole lot of both, people thinking that they would never be attacked there because they heard about all these things about freaking that were going to come in from that one spot, and fucking definitely caught them off guard.
And when we were talking about Hitler not being woken up until 12 o'clock, when he woke up, he was ecstatic that the fucking invasion was happening. Like he wasn't upset. He was ecstatic. He was like happy that it was happening.
See, what I freaking learned or like read about and shit was he didn't believe him at first, so it took him a while before he actually initiated plans.
Huh.
Like,
I
he
could
kept on
definitely
saying no,
be
it wouldn't happen.
There's definitely got to be document somewhere, because like officials from his like they had to have had some like good first-hand count.
Yeah.
And
See, yeah, I don't know.
at talking.
Either way, you know, it's kind of wild that freaking it took him so long before, and like just the way life happens like that.
He delayed any order. He delayed any order until 4 p.m. And then when he actually did send out the Panzer troop to help, the Panzers got stuck in a forest hiding out from the Allies for over 2 days and couldn't join the fight for 2 days. So they literally like just had no support from the Panzers, which big part of the fucking German military. But yeah. So Teddy Roosevelt Jr. had chronic health issues, so he could storm Normandy with his men. Thought that was pretty cool. Before Normandy or D-Day, bombing raids occurred, and those bombing raids killed only civilians and no Nazis.
Oops.
Yeah. And then there's another one where is it? Oh, Frogmen softened the target. They were Frogmen were the hardest hit on D-Day, and they softened the target, meaning that they went in and destroyed landmines and shit, which, I mean, Frogmen are, Navy SEALs, but are just like old Navy SEAls. D-Day is just a term used for certain occasions that, like, D-Day stands for day, or like it's day, the day of days, if you would.
It is a freaking day that will be remembered forever.
But like the day after D-Day or the day before D-Day is supposed to be negative D, or it's some weird coding, and then it's like plus D1 or something like that for the day after, and then 2 days after.
Oh, probably AD.
No, it's D1. It's like I don't even know. I don't know. It's fucking weird. The U.S.
Real
Texas.
quick, before we go any further, my bad.
Yep.
But we talked about Theodore Roosevelt there for a second.
Yep.
Can we talk about how badass he was? The dude, I don't know if you know much about him, like in his upbringing and what. But
Well, both of
You-
them were badass.
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
But
Just like the story of
because
this.
Teddy
for-
but Teddy Roosevelt was the one that did the national parks, or was it Junior?
It was Junior.
I thought it was okay.
But Teddy, freaking Theodore, however you want it, whatever. Or we're talking about the same fella, one freaking during Normandy.
Yeah, but wasn't there a Teddy Roosevelt and then a Teddy Roosevelt Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they were both presidents, weren't they? Or am I stupid?
Yep.
Okay. And one was president in like 1908, and then the other one was president in like the 30s or 40. Oh no, 40s.
Right after all this shit.
50s.
Like freaking
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
late 40s,
So like
early 50s.
yeah, early 50s, I would say. But okay. But yeah, didn't he die a month later after Normandy?
freaking no.
Who died a month later after Normandy? Fairly certain it was him.
No. He became president.
Hold on. Just give me a second. Fairly certain he died right after Normandy. Who died after a month after Normandy invasion? That's a fucking dumb thing to say because millions of fucking, or like a lot of people died, like just because. Oh. Did Dwight D. Eisenhower die? No, wait. He was president too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Somebody, I literally. Oh, another little fun fact.
Oh, you're all right.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Died
he
of a
was-
heart attack, freaking.
He was still a
1
very,
month
very
after.
badass man. Without a fucking
Yeah.
doubt.
But that's not even. I was just talking about his upbringing. Like his freaking dad was like a doctor, and he like thought he had freaking problems with his health, and they never thought he would live past freaking X amount of years old, and like they locked him in his house, straight up like Bubble Boy type style.
Hmm.
And then
I do
that's what
I do
made him
remember
like
that.
want to do everything with the parks, because he like figured out how to. He had freaking asthma, and he figured out how to freaking like withhold that shit, and then he became a badass football player, a badass boxer, a fucking all sportsman all around. Like the dude was legit just a badass.
You want to know a little weird fact? And I don't necessarily know if it's true. The first ever college football, first ever college football game was 6 days after or before the end of the Civil War. I thought
Is
that's
that fucking nutty?
neat. Yeah, very fucking neat. Just interesting. Did you know that? I know. I'm sorry. I'm doing a little bit of like the quizzing thing, whatever. But did you know that there were tanks on D-Day? Did you know that? Like the Allied forces had floating tanks, and they brought tanks ashore. Did you know?
Yeah, I read the whole like a deal about how they freaking shortened up their boats so they're able to freaking like shove it on the land and be able to deposit shit. And like shit like that they had to go through like a bunch of freaking, they had to make like special boats and shit.
Well, like these boats or these tanks, you just had to drop off like pretty close to shore, and they could make it to shore themselves. But they were called the DD tanks, and it's for the company, not for D-Day tanks. Just so you know, I thought it was for D-Day tanks, but it's not. But on Omaha, they deployed too far out, and only 2 of 29 made it. However, most of the tanks on all the other beaches were successful in deploying, with 69 out of 82 of the tanks making it to land. Adding on to that, give me 1 second. The Canadian 1st Unit, I forgot what it, like, I didn't put the specific unit down. Canadian 1st Tank Unit, whatever, was the only Allied unit to complete its objective on D-Day.
Okay.
And they were also one of the heaviest casualties. And, fun fact, I didn't know this. I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't. The Canadians, on their beaches, were the ones that made it the farthest inland out of everyone. And say it if you will, or say it if you won't, it's because there was not as much, what's the word I'm looking for? Backlash. That's not the right word I'm looking for, but, you know, there wasn't a lot of, like, they didn't have a lot of pushback on their beach in comparison to fucking Omaha or Utah.
Right.
But I'm not even gonna lie, the fucking Americans were a bit of a fucking mess that day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, everyone else kind of, like, they were like, I mean, everyone was kind of getting messy, but the Americans were just like, fuck it, hold my beer, watch this shit. Just pushed. I don't even know.
Watching like some footage of a bunch of tank like graveyards that are still there to this day of all this fucking shit that's just left behind.
Dude, I forget what fucking unit it is, but literally 92% of the fucking people died. Like, there were literally, like, out of like a fucking 100, there were 7 of them that fucking survived that fucking fight. That's just like, Jesus Christ. But because of his command, Teddy Roosevelt command, Utah Beach was cleared. Like they gave him the Medal of Honor because of his actions that day for clearing Utah. Another little fun fact before, I mean, like, we've already gotten into it, so I guess whatever. But another little fun fact: before D-Day, Operation Tiger was a training op believed to kill over 450 men. The next day after, not the day before D-Day, but before D-Day, that operation happened. And then the next day after that operation, an Allied boat was training, and they were attacked by Germans, and there were over 700 men killed. The training is believed by some to be as deadly as the invasion. The invasion for D-Day, or the training for D-Day, was believed to be as deadly as
Gotta
D-Day
mimic the
itself.
real thing to make sure.
Well, yeah, literally. Dwight D. Eisenhower literally wanted to use live shells, and that's like why, yeah. But it took 6 months. This is after D-Day. It took 6 months to make Mulberry harbors using 200,000 tons of steel and 1 million tons of concrete. We need to make these more structured. I need to make my notes more structured. That's all I got. Like, I'm such a spaz with my notes. I'll have shit from like the beginning of the day at like right here, and then like right after it, it'll be the end of the day, and then right after it, it'll be the middle, and then like I need to just like.
That's why just to like, and it's also a refresher for our memory, so it'd be like a twofer. Take like, cause I also do that where I pile up freaking throughout the week, you know. Right before, hour before, you rewrite all your notes in the proper freaking segment, and then also it helps you refresh everything.
Yeah,
too,
that's
so
fair.
It's a little bit of a twofer.
Honestly, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, dude, there's a footage. It's really cool footage. There's footage of the USS Doyle moving closer than 800 meters from the beach to lay down covering fire for the boys on the beach. That's pretty neat. They literally like how close they are, and like it's just like it's wild to look at how close they fucking are.
Honestly. Duh.
There were 1,745 tons of ordnance dropped without a single German death before, started dropping people or like sending people to the beach. Like they sent out ordnance and not a single German death for 1,745 tons of ordnance.
Yo, wayside.
Another pretty cool part that
Yeah.
people really kind of like forget about is like paratroopers were a thing, but gliders were also a thing. People were literally gliding into a fucking battle zone. That's pretty neat.
You're saying Batman wrong. Or Avatar.
And then the days that followed D-Day would be more fierce and gruesome than the landing itself. That's what I have written down for kind of
Oh,
like
really?
a little conclusion. Yeah.
H hour. Apply for all units participating in it. When used in combination with numbers in plus or minus signs, these terms indicate the point of time flowing or preceding a specific action. Respectfully, thus, H3 means 3 hours after H hour, and D3 means 3 days after D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you freaking exactly tell how that shit works.
The first casualties on D-Day were of 6 sailors aboard the USS Osprey. They were not like Marines. They were not paratroopers. They were the sweepers. And respect to those fellas, dude. That's all I got. Imagine just being at sea and getting blown up by a fucking mine that you don't even really know is there.
Yeah,
which they were the sweepers, so like that's what they were looking for, but still fucking good old surprise. That's what I'm saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
My fellow Americans, last night when I spoke with you about the fall of Rome, I knew at that moment that troops of the United States and our allies were crossing the Channel in another and greater operation. It has come to pass with success thus far. And so, in this poignant hour, I ask you to join with me in prayer. Almighty God, our sons, pride of our nation, this day have set upon a mighty endeavor, a struggle to preserve our republic, our religion, and our civilization, and to set free a suffering humanity. Lead them straight and true Give strength to their arms, stoutness to their hearts, steadfastness in their faith. They will need thy blessings. Their road will be long and hard. For the enemy is strong. He may hurl back our forces. Success may not come with rushing speed, but we shall return again and again. And we know that by thy grace and by the righteousness of our cause, our sons will triumph. They will be sore tried by night and by day, without rest, until the victory is won. The darkness will be rent by noise and flame. Men's souls will be shaken with the violences of war. For these men are lately drawn from the ways of peace. They fight not for the lust of conquest. They fight to end conquest. They fight to liberate. They fight to let justice arise and tolerance and goodwill among all thy people. They yearn but for the end of battle, for their return to the haven of home. Some will never return. Embrace these, Father, and receive them, thy heroic servants, into thy kingdom. And for us at home, fathers, mothers, children, wives, sisters, and brothers of brave men overseas, whose thoughts and prayers are ever with them, help us, Almighty God, to rededicate ourselves in renewed faith in thee in this hour of great sacrifice. Many people have urged that I call the nation into a single day of special prayer. But because the road is long and the desire is great, I ask that our people devote themselves in a continuance of prayer. As we rise to each new day, and again when each day is spent, let words of prayer be on our lips, invoking thy help to our efforts. Give us strength, too, strength in our daily tasks, to redouble the contributions we make in the physical and the material support of our armed forces. And let our hearts be stout, to wait out the long travail, to bear sorrows that may come, to impart our courage unto our sons, wheresoever they may be. And, O Lord, give us faith. Give us faith in thee, faith in our sons, faith in each other, faith in our united crusade. Let not the keenness of our spirit ever be dulled. Let not the impacts of temporary events, of temporal matters of but fleeting moment, let not these deter us in our unconquerable purpose. With thy blessing, we shall prevail over the unholy forces of our enemy. Help us to conquer the apostles of greed and racial arrogances. Lead us to the saving of our country, and with our sister nations into a world unity that will spell a sure peace, a peace invulnerable to the schemings of unworthy men, and a peace that will let all men live in freedom, reaping the just rewards of their honest toil. Thy will be done, Almighty God. Amen.
All right. Let's talk about it a little bit. We kind of just sat here.
All my notes.
Let's play a game, talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
Just like review it a little bit.
Review time.
You know, I don't really know. Hitler kind of fucked up. His boys were really there to fight for him, and kind of fucked up. Like seriously, them boys believed in him, and he did not give a single fuck. Like seriously, they fought so fucking hard. Just imagine. I don't even know. It's just fucking wild.
Zombie deck, huh?
Thought that was a complete. Oh wait.
Are you scared?
Why is it my zombie deck even? Kind of wanted it to be my other deck though. I guess. Are you gonna talk?
Talking. What do you want me to say?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty rad.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Stuff we talked about. This might be a bad idea, but fuck. Shit's happening.